Okay, Abby, this is video number 3. So this is going to be sharing a topic. Okay, so just to kind of recap what we did, we created our account and then we created the group. So right now we have this Reddit example group. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to create a topic, and I can see here that we have one topic. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into it. So just click into the name, right, into our group, the Reddit example group. I clicked on it. So now we're inside the group itself. Okay, so from here, if I scroll down, I can see now I have topics, and then I can also see that I have my students. They'll start listing down here. So I'm going to go back into topics. And then also before I go even further, so up here, here's our example group 2. So this is the group itself, right? In here I can share the group. I can add co-pilots. I can duplicate the group. I can export the data. So this, again, this is higher, right? The group, the class itself. Okay. I can also add a co-pilot here, and then I could view it if I wanted to see it as a student, from the student's point of view. But what we're going to do is we're going to create a topic. So inside the class or the group, we create topics. So this is what makes it specific. So this hello one, Flipgrid always creates it by default. So it's always going to be in here. But what we're going to do is we're going to create our own group. So here's the little blue square. Create a topic. And now we have our choices. So in here, it starts off with the title. So I'm going to say, please, or actually, that's a direction. I'm going to say introductions. Okay, that's more of a title. Okay, so then in here is the prompt. Okay, so the prompt is, please introduce yourself to the group. And then I'll give them more information. Use your camera and record yourself. Okay, and you have more characters. So here we have 1,000 characters. So you can make it pretty detailed. And if you wanted to hyperlink something, you could hyperlink out. And again, here's the formatting that you can use. Okay, so now scrolling, well, actually before I even scroll down, so right now we're in details, right? Details. If I click on permission, all that does is it just takes us down here to this section. But you can keep, scrolling. Now, here you can add media. So if you wanted to, instead of using text, you wanted to record yourself, just click on the little camera icon, and then it asks for your permission, you allow, and then it turns on the camera. So then here you can record yourself. Okay, so at the very bottom, you can flip the camera. So if you're like on your phone, you can flip the camera and use the rear-facing camera on your phone. Here you can add options. So the options are pretty cool. When I click on it, here they are. So you can upload a clip. So if you've already recorded yourself and you want to take it out of maybe your photo files on your phone, or if you're on a computer like I am, you could upload the clip. Here you can record just your audio, the mic only. You can mirror the image, so all that does is it just flips it, right? So this is good if you're using like text like this. If I do this, okay, you can actually, yeah, this is good. You can read it. Sometimes the text will be flipped, and you'd have to do that to make it to where it's legible, and then you can actually, or the viewer can actually read it. Okay, so that's that. And then you can mute yourself if you needed to, or you can record the screen. So you could click on this and then, move your mouse around and show them other things like that. Okay, so these are the options. Now, the effects over here. So this is where you can get really fancy, and this is the one where I was telling you kids can get carried away with these kinds of options. So maybe you might turn it off if you're worried that they're going to get too carried away, or maybe you do have a student that will get carried away. But here you could change the filter. So I just clicked on filters, so you can change the color, right? You can add those little effects, and there are a ton of different effects on here. And it doesn't look too good on mine because I don't have too much light, but if I want to take the filters out, I'm just going to go back to here, clear. Oh, actually that was a frame, sorry. Filters. Oh, and you know what, before I do that, what I'm going to do is, if you wanted to see what this is, right, this effect, so I click on effect and then you'll see there's a little white dot at the very bottom, so you know, okay, there's a filter is applied. And if you want to take it off, you just click on the filters icon, and then right here you can clear the filter and it goes back to the way it was. Okay, and then so here, if you wanted to add text to it, like let's say, and then it has these little fonts, but let's say I wanted to use this one here, I can again change it a little bit more. That's the background. Here's the text color, the stroke, all that stuff. So once I do that, then I can just, do this, and then I could drag it somewhere else so it's not in, on my face. And then when I clicked on it, I have the three little dots. So here I could, make it bigger, smaller. Here I get the little options again. Here I can copy it. So now I have two of them. And then I can just do this. So that just kind of makes it a little bit more fancy. And then if I want to delete it, I just click on it. And again, oh, the other thing too, so you can mirror it if you needed to do that, right? Like if it's flipped, you needed to do that. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to delete that. So that is, again, effects, text. So here is ink. So if you wanted to do this instead, you can do something like that. Okay, I'm going to undo it. Go back to effects, ink. So then board, so you can actually, I'm going to do this. So now we have a little grid. So here we can actually close it. We can actually, I'm going to go back to effects, and I'm going to use the ink. And then I could, do things like this with the kids if I wanted to do that. Like if I needed to do something like this to explain something to them. Okay, so I can do things like that. So I got a little whiteboard here. Now the other thing, so that was board, stickers. So these are the things that you could, if I wanted to, I don't know, you got little emojis too. So there's all kinds of choices. So this is what I'm telling you, you could really get carried away. Oh, some of these aren't even turned off. Yeah, okay, so let's say I'm going to put one of these. So I just clicked on the little sticker, and I think it actually went behind. Oh, there it is. It just took it. It came up at the very end. There it is. It just took it a while. I guess because it was trying to. And then again, if I click on the corners, I can make it smaller. Okay, so that's that. The other things we got photos, so you can upload a photo, and then frames. That's the one that I was in earlier. So I can click that, and it just kind of frames everything. Okay, so that's all the little extra stuff. And then so when you're ready to record, I wasn't even recording. You just click on the circle right here, and I don't think, oh, there it goes. Yeah, it's gonna record. So it gives me the countdown. So like right now, it's recording my video. So I can be talking, and then I could even turn on my effects while I'm talking, so I can, explain a little bit more. Okay, so then when I'm done with my video, I'll hit the stop in the middle. Okay, so once I hit the stop, it gets kind of tricky because we're not done. Okay, we have to still do a couple of different things. Now, the other thing too, so here I can add another sticky note. And then this right here just tells me how much time. So I have up to 10 minutes to make my recording. So this just kind of is a visual to tell you how far along you are with your 10 minutes. Okay, so then let's say I'm done, right? I'm going to hit next down here at the bottom. So this is important. So like right now, it's recording my video. So I can be talking, and then I could even turn on. I'm going to pause it. So it was playing. I don't know if the audio is coming through on this video, but it was playing and I could hear myself. Okay, and then these are the things that a lot of the times that teachers forget about the next button. Okay, so make sure you're clicking on the next button. Now, since I still had a lot of time left on the 10 minutes, I can add more. So I can click on the camera and then it'll add to the, to the timeline that I already have recorded. All right, and then if I wanted to add a note right here at this specific spot, so at 6 seconds, I can add a new note and then pay attention to this. On my effects while I'm talking, so I can, all right, so then now, let's say I'm ready. So I'm just gonna hit next. Okay, so then one more step before we get out. And again, this 99% of the times when people say it's not recording, it's because they forget to do the next, and then confirm. So here what you want to do is you're going to create a cover photo. So what it does is it kind of took one of the pieces of the video, and then you could use this if you wanted to and just click confirm, or you can select the frame yourself. So like if I maybe saw a certain spot that was a little bit more visually interesting, like maybe the very end after this is recorded and I wanted to use that, then I could use that. Okay, so I can hit confirm. And actually before I hit confirm, I want to do something else. You can take a selfie. So if you didn't want to use this, you just wanted to take a selfie, you can do that. You can upload a photo, or you can add a name tag. So there's different options. So let's say I'm good. I want to use this one right here. Now the very last thing, so I'm going to hit confirm. Now it's uploading the video. And again, this was just the video for the instructions, right? Okay, so it kind of gives me the little success thing. So now I'm going to hit done. Okay, so now here is my video. So this is going to show up with the title, the prompt, and then here's my media. Okay, so they can play this and watch my instructions. Okay, now other things that were available, I'm going to drop this down. So we just did this right here. We can upload a video if we already had a video recorded. If we wanted to upload a YouTube or a Vimeo video, we can do that too. You can upload an image, a Giphy, an emoji. So there's all kinds of different options of media that you can upload. Something from Google, a Bitmoji, a Kahoot. So if you wanted to, upload a Kahoot quiz into your directions, you could do that. Wakelet, a Nearpod, right? A Newsela. So if you wanted them to read an article for Newsela, you could do that. Adobe Spark, Wonderopolis, and then Bunsy. I don't see too many people using these three, but all the other ones I do. Not so much this one because, of course, we're more Google than anything else. But yeah, you can add all kinds of media on here. And then, okay, and then so here's where you can add guests. So like if you want parents, like you're creating a topic for the parents, or that you want parents to reply to, you can turn this on. Okay, so when you turn that on, then and then you give it a password. Then parents or anybody outside of the @nisd.net or at students.nisd.net can actually post also. Okay, so that's if you wanted to do that, a guest password. Again, for announcements and things like that. So then now essentials, these were the defaults when we were in the profile and setting the defaults. Here's where you can double check them. So topic moderation, since I had defaulted it to be on, it's on here, but here I could turn it off if I wanted to. And then here I could change the recording time from 1.5 minutes to 30 seconds. And then the closed captioning, I could change it to another language if I wanted to do that. And then the comments. So here's where you want them to respond, right? So right now it's set to they can respond with video and text. But if you want them to use the camera, then video comments only. But if you don't want them to use the camera, then you just want text comments only. But if you just want them to see it, you don't want them to respond or anything, then you can click none. Okay, so here's where you can control the comments. Okay, so now more options. Okay, so the more options here, you can attach a URL. So if you want them to, go to a certain spot, like let's say I don't know, here to Northside address, I throw it there, Northside. So you can have up to 9 links. So you can add another one. The status, if you want the topic to be active, right, to where they can watch it, then you leave it to active. You can set a date for how long it stays active. So it starts on May the 11th today. So then you could click here when you want it to turn off. So maybe by Friday you don't want it to be active anymore. So then it's scheduled for today through Friday, and then that's it. Then it turns inactive after the 14th at midnight. Okay, or actually, yeah, it goes frozen is what it's called. Notifications, do you want the daily email? Do you want the people who post to get emails? And then the video responses. So the responses are different from comments. So comments are just, they can comment to this, right, to the instructions. What you're going to want students to do is give you the video responses, right? So if we select that they can respond with video, oops. No, actually, yeah, that's it. Yeah, they respond with their videos. So the video and cover images effect. So here's where you can videos only or cover images, like what they can change, or none, right? Allow filters, stickers, and other effects on the videos. So you can turn off all that fancy stuff if it's too much, if it's going to be overwhelming. You can turn that off. If you're okay with them having that, but in the videos, you can do that. If you're okay with having them in their cover image, right, that very last step where it was next, confirm, and the confirm is the one where they do their cover image. If you want them to have those stickers and all that stuff in the cover image, you can do that. If you're okay with them having it in both spots, then you can do that right there. And then if you want them to have an attachment link, you can have it on. So the attachment link, it's kind of like what we did here. So they would have this option if you want them to have it. If not, you can just turn it off. Likes, again, so this is what we talked about. If you want other students to like it, like their videos, you can have that on. If you want them to download their own videos and share it, you can turn it on. But if you don't need them to do that, then you can turn it off. The view counts, again, if you want them to see how many times their videos are being watched, you can have it on. But if you're more worried about them getting upset because nobody's watching their videos and no one is liking it, then you can just have those off. If you want them to edit, you can leave it on or you can turn it off. And then the sticky notes, they can add sticky notes while they're recording, or you can turn it off. Just another thing that distracts them, you can have it off. So here all they can really do is just do a video response, and that's it, and then they post it. They can't trim it, delete it, rearrange it. They can't add links. They can't do, and they don't see the likes and the counts and all that stuff. You can do that if you wanted to. Now the feedback, this is going to be the last video because this is a big one. At least for me, it's a big one. So we'll come back to the feedback, and then that's it. So once you're done with all of this, right? So we created a topic, we gave it a title, we added a prompt, and then I recorded a video. But you can, do all kinds of other media if you wanted to do that. You don't have to, but I mean, you can if you wanted to. You can turn on guests and then moderation. So if you want to check their video responses before everybody else does, you could turn that on. Allow comments to the video responses. So if you want the students to respond to each other when they're doing their video responses, this is where you could allow it, or you can turn it off. The recording time, 30 seconds, all the way up to 10 minutes if you wanted to give them 10 minutes to record a video, and then the closed captioning, and then if you want, this is for you, your attachments, how long you want it to be active, the notifications that you're going to get when they start responding, and then the video responses. So when the students start responding, how much how much control do you want them to have? And then the feedback. I'm going to make the last video is going to be about feedback. Okay, so let's say we are done, and you could even save the changes to my default settings. So if you liked these settings instead, you can just check this off, and then it's going to update your default settings. So then now we'll create the topic. Okay, so here's a little celebration thing. So then again here we can copy this URL and then share it through Schoology. You can post the QR code if you wanted to do that, or you can do the copy embed code. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to copy this. So I clicked on that. Here's my confirmation. I'm going to hit all set. So then now I go back to my Schoology. Let's say I'm ready to put that topic on the top. So I go to Schoology. I'm going to add a page. That's what we're going to do. We're adding a page. So then this is Flipgrid topic. And then I'm going to click on switch to HTML. Okay, so once it's switched to HTML, I'm going to paste that HTML here. And so once I did that, then the next thing is I'm going to display on new page. Okay, and then if I want to add, no, that's good enough. Okay, so now I'm going to hit create. Let it do its processing. And then, so here it is. Okay, so good. This is kind of what I wanted to. So it's telling me, so the students are going to, they're going to show up and they're going to see this. And so what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to join with Google, right? So they're going to click on this. It opens up the little sign-in thing. They're going to click on their Northside login credentials. So then now it turns it on. So then here it is, the Flipgrid topic. Here's our topic title, introductions. And then this is the link. Remember when we created the URL? So this is what it looks like to the students. And they just click on it, and then it opens up the website. Okay, so remember you can have up to, I think it's at 6, I think. So you can have 6 different links here. Here's the video. So if I click on the video, the countdown, so like right now it's recording my video. So I can be talking, and then I could even turn on my effects while I'm talking. So I can, and that's what I wanted to show you more. Okay, so then when I'm done with my video, I'll hit. Okay, so the video just finished playing. Okay, so now here's the little X. So I'm going to exit to close it. So I just watched it, and so now as a student, I can keep scrolling, and I could see that nobody's responded because there's no responses down here. But what I can do as a student is I can click right here, record a response. So I click on it, and then it turns on my camera. So then as a student, I can flip it if I'm on my phone. Here's the little options. We didn't turn these options off, but here they can upload. They can do pretty much what you had earlier, just the mic. They can flip it. They can mute themselves. They can record their screen if you want them to record themselves doing something. They have the little effects here. And then so when they're ready to record, they just click on the right here inside the white circle. Here's their countdown. All right, so this is my response as a student, and I am done with my response. Okay, so I click back in the circle, it turns white, so that means I stopped recording. And so now again, the big pieces that a lot of the times people forget, so they need to click next. And then, all right, so this is my response as a student, and I am done with my response. Okay, so they watch their video. All right, so this is my response as a, I'm gonna pause it. So they watch their video. If they want to edit, and if you gave them permissions to edit, they can edit here. They can delete the clip and then start over again. But if they're okay with it, they just hit next. Okay, so then here what it does is then it asks for their display name, how their name is going to pop out, a description, so they can say this is my response. And then here they can take a selfie. So I'm going to click the selfie. Okay, so there's my selfie. And again, they can mirror, they can add effects if you gave them the permission to do that. And then the last thing, they'll confirm. Okay, so here it is. That's just the cover image, right? The cover image. And then that's it. Now I'm going to hit submit. Okay, so they always have to keep looking at this bottom right. And then now it's uploading. It gives me the confirmation. It's a success. Now I'll hit done. Okay, so then now what it did is I'll probably have to refresh it. So let me refresh the page. Right. Okay, so wow, that took a while. Okay, so I'm back at it. So here is the Flipgrid. Here's the instructions. And then, oh, it still does. Oh, you know why? Because I think we have to moderate it. So I'm going to go back into the topic. So I'm looking at it as a teacher. Let me see if it actually lets me. Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, so as a teacher, here's the topic, right? Introductions. This was my directions. Here's the response right now. So yeah, it's hidden because as a teacher, I can go into it now and then I can view it just to make sure it's appropriate. So this is my response as a student. And okay, so, and the next video is going to be the feedback, but here's the video. If it is appropriate, then I could go to hidden and then activate it. So now it's green, it's active. And then I'm going to go back into Schoology. So now if I refresh it, then the response, oh, it was instant. It actually showed up. Since I activated it, now I have, okay, here's my instructions again. And then now it's telling me one response. And where's the response? Well, it's telling me there's one response, but I'm thinking it's probably going to take a little bit of time for it to show up. But they'll start showing up in here. And then what I can do is I can respond back to the response. But I'll tell you, that'll be the next video, because in the next video, then it's going to be how you evaluate their videos, right? As they're recording it, here's the details, and then you can give them feedback, you can edit, and what kind of feedback, if you want to make it public or private. Okay, but that'll be the next video. Okay, so all right, that's the end of this one. So what we did on this one is we followed up from the second video, which was the second video, we created the group. So then this video, what we did is we created a topic, right? We were in topics, topic. We went to create a topic. When we created the topic, then what we did is we gave it a title, the directions. We recorded a video right here. And then we changed these permissions around, added a URL. Oops, didn't mean to zoom in. We scheduled for it just to be active for 4 days. And then the notifications, and then right here the video responses, and then the feedback. We're going to talk about this in the next one. Okay, and then how to share it. So then once we created the topic, then we clicked share, and then I showed you how to embed it, but you can share the link or you can do a QR code instead if you wanted to do that. And then in here too, who can access this topic. So in here again, you could change and view the permissions. Right now it's set to student email, right, from earlier when we created the group, but we can edit in here too. So there's different ways that you can get to those permissionings. All right, so that's the end of this one. And then, oh, so while you're here, it defaults to topics. So topics will start listing here. You can also see it by student. So if you go on student, you can see what each student has posted. Okay, and you can block the student if the student just gets too carried away. All right, so okay, so that's the end of this video, and then the next video we're going to look at how you can, the type of evaluation and feedback you can give to the students.